Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So before we can actually move on and do things like being able to clear a line and implement scoring, we actually need to be able to move the block better. So I'll show you the problem. If we come down to here, move block horizontal, we have no function for moving the block vertical, and for rotate block it's the opposite. We have the vertical but none for horizontal. So the way I'm going to do this, so the button configuration can stay fairly simple, I'm going to implement a single button. So when this button is not being held, we just move the block normally. When we hold it down, we switch to the rotate block functions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin in Unity itself. I'm going to go to Edit, Project Settings, Input Manager. I'll just increase the size by 1. And I'm going to create a new button. So let's call this rotate underscore toggle. And I'll just set the positive button to space. Yeah, I do know we need to come back and add some more joystick buttons, not just for this but for a few others, but we'll do that in another lesson. So I've just copied that name I've created for now. Don't need it just yet. Firstly, we'll create a type bool. I'm going to make it public so you can see it in the inspector, but really this can be set to private. So this bool is going to be underscore rotate button. Let's put rotate button pressed. We'll put this into the comments. Defines if the... I'll just paste the name in. Rotate toggle is button is being held or not. And in fact, I'll put this in the void update for the time being. Rotate button pressed is going to equal input dot, and you want to select get button. Open and close brackets, close the line off, inside the brackets quote marks. I'll paste that name in again. So let's put this into the comments. So rotate button pressed is equal to the, I'll paste the name in a final time, the rotate underscore toggle button. Now I'm going to save that off, and you know, I am aware there's some more optimization to do. You know, this is in the void update for now, but we'll work on actual optimization once we've got everything working and working well. So with that done, we're going to come to the move block function. So we're calling the move block horizontal and rotation. Now, of course, we only want the rotate being called if the button is being pressed. So what we're going to do is create an if statement. I'm going to say underscore rotate button pressed is equal to false. So we'll do it for if it's not being pressed first. And again, I'll quickly just put this into the comments. So if it's equal to false, then we can, and I will cut and paste the move block horizontal line. And in fact, let's just copy that if statement. We'll paste that in below. I'll remove the line where we call the move block function. And now we'll say that if the rotation button is equal to true, so it is being pressed, then we want to call the rotate block vertical function. So we'll cut and paste that line into the brackets. And we use brackets because we need new functions. So I'm going to begin here with move block horizontal, and I'm going to copy the entire function. And I'll just paste that in below. So now we've actually done that, we need to change the name. So move block vertical. And we'll copy and paste that into the debug log. And we're going to come up and we'll call that function. So I'll just copy the move block horizontal line. And I'll just copy and paste our new naming convention over it. And let's now come down to this function. So move block vertical, obviously we've got to change some code. First thing we need to do is change this first line to a vertical move input from horizontal. And we need to change the axis again to vertical, or whatever you've personally called it. And then we need to copy vertical move input. We need to paste it in over these two if blocks. And what we're going to do now is come and look at these lines where we actually move the block by saying plus equal 1 or minus equal 1. Now these are on the x-axis and this should be on the z or z-axis for some of you. And I'll just change that in the comments. And it looks like I actually put the wrong comment in the move block horizontal. I put y-axis when that is the x. So this is the move block horizontal, the old function. I'll just change the comments to x as they should have been. So here's the new block. Please pause the video if you need to check, make sure your code is the same as mine. Moving block horizontal is equal to true. We'll actually change that later. It's not going to hurt anything for the moment. So we'll just leave those lines for the time being. Let's hit play. And let's see what happens. Can we move the block in all 4 directions? So we can still move left and right. And we can now move forward and back. I'll move the block back. So let's stop that there. Now I'll hit play again. I would have done this in one go, but obviously the I-shaped is bad for this. Let me just hold that block. So we have the J shape. Let's see if we can press space and see if we can rotate, which we can. So it does have a habit of falling through the floor if you rotate near the bottom. Again, that's something we can fix. It's not a problem. It's just one of many things we'll have to do. But for now, we've got something else working. But let's use the rotate block horizontal function. Let's create that. So I'm going to copy the rotate block vertical, and we're just going to do the same type of thing. So obviously we're going to change this to move block horizontal. I'll just copy and paste that into the debug log. And I'm just going to paste the name in again to the if rotate button is pressed within the move block function. And I'll just say that we're calling that function. And let's just tidy everything up. And then we'll come down and we'll actually do the same thing again with rotate block vertical. So we have vertical, horizontal. So it's the horizontal we need to change. So the first thing, vertical move input underscore horizontal move input. And we need to change it here also. I'll copy the horizontal move input. Obviously we need to paste it in to the if statements. And again, we'll just paste it into the comments as well. And once we've done that, we need to turn our attention to this where we rotate. And what we're going to do is we're going to say 0. Let's just change that all to 0. By, let's see, I'm just, sorry, it's just that I'm just thinking how best to word this for the comments. So the one we're going to change is actually the last 0 of the 3. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring these all on one line. It might just simpler for me to just think about this for the moment. So it's the last 0. Again, we'll use transform dot position and we'll need to change this here. We want it to be plus 90. So let's just save that off. So this is the rotate horizontal. Let's just see if we can rotate horizontal now. I may have to start this a few times depending on what block I get. So let's now have a look. So as you can see, we can now do that one way, not the other. Let's just stop that a sec. Let's get the other one in place. I'm going to enter there. After the first two zeros, we'll put rotate by 0 and 0. And let's put just by plus 90 on, I'll just put on this axis. Yeah, that will do for the comments. I think you can obviously put something more more descriptive in if you wish, but this is what I'm going to use for now. So let's use we want to change that to minus 90, so let's just change that as well. Let's save that off. And now we have both of those in place. Let's just test this again. So if I hold space, you can see how I'm rotating the block on numerous different ways. Let's just keep following that. So let's just hit start again. So you can see how this block is now being manipulated in rotation in all different manners. So again, I know it's not perfect as of yet, but again, we've made an improvement, and we'll continue to make improvements as the series goes on, as well as adding new functionality. But we've definitely increased the scope of this script now. There's some optimization, a few other little tidy up things we need to do to this project. So I may just do a separate video where we do those little things, get them out of the way in one lesson, and then we can move on to other functionality. But I'll leave it there for this lesson. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you next time. And until then, as always, bye for now.